What's up, mofos? Well, I'm back. And you might be wondering, some things, notably the fact that I said I wouldn't be making videos for the foreseeable future, and I think it's better if we go inside and discuss these things. It's a little bit, but I assure you, it is all good news. Come on. Don't you want to, accept the hag's invitation to her nerd cavern? Come on. I'm keeping this in the video. Whoa. I'm also keeping that in the video. Fuck wasps. Well, now that we're inside, we can now discuss the things. So, a couple weeks ago, I uploaded a video about me going into semi-retirement. The reason I say semi-retirement is that at some point I would be going back to making YouTube videos. I just did not know when exactly. But things have changed, and I will go over the reasons why initially, but first I'll go over the reasons why I initially went to semi-retirement. So, the reason I went to semi-retirement is largely due to a bunch of things. For one, video production is kind of a bitch when you live in a group home, which is a problem I've always had, but between going to a day program that didn't really respect my time as much, and having to constantly decompress from going to said day program, it was just tough to really have that creative process to make videos and to, and to be able to make them and schedule time for like editing, because making a video takes like an entire day. A proper, well-edited video, or as well edited as I can, takes about an entire day to make. So, so I can't just simply take a day off and, take a day off from day program, make a video, upload it to YouTube, have it get like a couple hundred views, because I'd much rather take a day off from day program, play nothing but video games all day long, and, try to, relax from having to go to a day program where I'm constantly in the back of a Ford E250. And by the way, those Ford E250 vans are an absolute piece of shit. Like, they're great if you're physically disabled, but if you're mentally disabled, go fuck yourself. So, anyway, as much as I want to bitch about the Ford E250 and why I think, the Detroit automotive industry really needs to, game end itself, I'd much rather talk about, everything directing to this YouTube channel. So what ended up happening was, because the amount of time and energy spent going to day program and the time and energy spent having to relax from having to deal with that exhausting rigmarole, I couldn't make YouTube videos anymore. So I went to semi-retirement. But a week later, I ended up having a weird-ass dream involving the program manager. I decided that that was due to a trauma anniversary caused by me being removed from Devro. And if you know anything about the Devro Foundation, Carl E. Clark, resign right now. That is not a command. That is not a warning. That is a command. Anyway, so I decided to take some time away from day program, and because the fact that I had to move my meds around again because their transportation isn't the kindest. It is revealed by moving that med around, my liver numbers doubled. So then I was pulled from day program, which, you know, on one hand, it's kind of sad because, you know, it's kind of sad to leave behind friends. But at the other end, you know, it's important to focus on one's health. And that's important. But now that I have all this time to myself and I have all this free time to fill in, I can now go back to making YouTube videos, or making YouTube videos as often as I can when the creative energy is there and when the desire to actually go out and spend an entire day of my life filming and editing all day long, you know, when I feel like that is a valid thing to do that day. So, I am back, and I have some ideas for videos. One is I want to do a video about the Nintendo GameCube. I think it's really fascinating. I love how, you know, of course the GameCube isn't in shot over here, it's actually over there. So yeah, I want to do that. I want to do more videos around my Gensokyo Trains route. Having moved it to 2019 version, the route is coming along nicely. It is still unfinished, but it is functional. And then what else? I want to do a video on if any of the 45, 44, 40-something US presidents could survive in Gensokyo. Mostly because I want to talk about how Abraham Lincoln would immediately start a yokai incident with the Lunarians, how Theodore Roosevelt would be the most OP Toho character in the universe. Then there's the fact that I think Bill Clinton would not last 5 seconds in Gensokyo, mostly around the younger looking characters, and how President Biden couldn't survive Gensokyo for the same reasons that Bill Clinton can't survive. Also, I want to see if Reagan would really be good to survive in Gensokyo. I'm really on the fence on whether or not Reagan is Gensokyo proof. But anyway, another video I want to do is to do a series of readings of the Railway series, but have the books be Toho-ified. So basically, I changed some of the wording around the names of the characters, and I want to do a reading of the twin engines, but instead of Donald and Douglas, it's Yugi and Soika, because I think it would be really cool if the 2 token Oni characters in the series could also speak Scottish, you know? I think that would be kind of cool. Spike Yugi Wiggy, take that! Ooh, ooh, ooh! There's more coming, should you misbehave. The brake van did behave better after that. So I want to do that. I'm not sure if I want to go back to making Toho skits again, because those videos tend to be not the best performers. And I know I call them cringe. That's because all the people who watch my Monster Madness apology re-upload, they then go and watch my other videos, and then they call me cringe. And I've just sort of accepted that, which I think is no bueno. And I think that the skits are actually really brilliant. They're just misunderstood pieces of comedy. That, and I tend to do better with comedy in conversational stuff, like on a podcast or talking with friends, than I am scripting and doing funny stuff on camera, you know. So that's kind of one thing that I wanted to bring up. As far as adding more Toho content to the channel, I think those are pretty Toho-centric. Except for the GameCube video, because I have some really interesting points I want to make about the GameCube, such as the fact that the memory cards are shit, the disk drives are shit, and, you know, how much of a maintenance hog my GameCube was. I also want to do a series of YouTube shorts about hot takes that I have. And I know having hot, you know, controversial opinions on YouTube, on any social media service, is a bad idea. but I have some opinions about video games. Before you click off, I want to say this. They're not bad opinions. They're not like super bad opinions. But, you know, I just want to have some funny opinions on video games, such as, like, you know, how the worst Pokemon game is better than the best Sonic game. Well, actually, I don't believe in that opinion, come to think of it. I think most Sonic games are pretty good, but if I had the choice between Scarlet and Violet and maybe the first Sonic Adventure, then maybe I'd prefer Scarlet and Violet. But, like, I don't know. That's just an example of a bad one that I don't believe in. Bad example. Erase that from your memory. But with that said, that's really it that I want to talk about. I'm back, bitches, and I want to say that I am going to return to making content. The content's still going to come out as pretty slow paced, to be honest, but it is what it is. Also, another video I want to put up is a re-upload of some of the stuff that I found off of this Thomas tuber that I used to upload stuff, but he got rid of his channel. I think it's Montague something. I don't know. I want to re-upload all the videos that I saved from him, and that's probably going to go up pretty soon, because that's easy peasy, Cyrano Defeaty, easy, Cyrano easy stuff. I might do a video for Cyrano Day, but it's mostly just me telling Cyrano to stay the fuck out of New England this year, because winter is my least favorite season. Mostly because all the really good holidays happen at the beginning of the season, and they're all really stressful holidays. And then throughout the rest of the year, they're all really crummy holidays. Like, for example, President's Day. What the fuck am I supposed to do on President's Day? Like, sleep with a body pillow of Theodore Roosevelt? Like, I'm already gay for the man, but why should I do that, you know? And then Martin Luther King Jr. Day, like, what am I supposed to do? Not ride on a bus? Like, I already do that in my spare time. Like, what am I supposed to do other than enjoy the fact that these are federal holidays? And that, you know, AOC can, like, just stay at home and eat a bowl of Cheerios. You know what I'm saying? And even Valentine's Day kind of sucks, because to make the most out of it, you either have to be, like, a major purchaser of greeting cards, Hallmark cards, or you're in a relationship. And even then, when you're in a relationship, Valentine's Day is still a very tacky holiday. And then you go to Easter, but then Easter, the holidays, you know, that's when holidays start getting good again. But then the question is, oh, are you Catholic or Orthodox? Because if you're Catholic, then, you know, Easter's Easter. But if you're Greek, or if you're a Slav, particularly of the Serb, Ukrainian, Russian varieties, you know, then Easter is on a different day. Usually either beforehand, a month earlier, or a couple months out. Just depends on what the Orthodox Church wants that day. But by and large, the winter holidays post January 1st all suck. I mean, they're all historically important days that have a lot of weight to them, but it's like the kind of things you would celebrate while you're in school and you have to learn about some important historical figures. They're not something you could, you know, erect a bush for and decorate with. It's not something you could watch, you know, an animated special about. You know, it's not something you could, like, you know, gather the family around and discuss, you know, how awesome a particular historical figure is. Mostly because families don't really do that, because most families aren't interested in history. Usually if you're interested in history, you're either a neckbeard who argues with people on, you know, r/Sherman posting, or you play Hearts of Iron 4, right? You watch Simple History, you watch, you know, not Simple History, Oversimplified. You watch Oversimplified, you watch, Laser Pig, you watch Animarchy. Usually, if you are a history person, you're usually on YouTube, in your room being alone. So again, not something you should build a wintertime holiday around, just saying, but it is what it is. Also, another thing, I will be making another Toho Fest video, but but it's not going to be a video about me discussing things. It's just going to be a compilation of things that I did there, because I think that's definitely easier to do, and it doesn't require me to set up a camera and talk in front of you guys, because I feel like you guys don't watch this kind of video. So yeah. Also, I want to make more content towards gaming and history, because those are my two bigger interests. But with that said, that's really it for future content. The fact that I'm back, the fact that I have some opinions about winter holidays and why I think they should be vastly improved in order to cure everybody's seasonal depression around that time, and why Cyrano was a big reason for that, because her and her dumb fairy ass keeps coming over here to the state of Massachusetts to make everything worse for us. Yeah, I'm back. Now get out. Also, who the fuck made Stadium 2 so goddamn hard?